There's a reason gaming is the most saturated niche on YouTube, and it's because everyone thinks it's easy, and I definitely thought the same thing too. I made over 700 gaming videos across multiple gaming channels and grew my first gaming channel to over 10,000 subscribers. But if I knew what I was going to share with you in this video, I would have done things completely differently. So to help you make growing your gaming channel 10 times easier, here are 10 brutal lessons I wish I knew sooner. The first lesson I learned is that variety gaming kills growth for most small gaming channels. Hear me out, because I'm not saying variety gaming can't work, because there are plenty of creators who play multiple games successfully. The problem is that most small creators try to become a variety channel before they've built an audience that actually wants to watch them. And the other problem is they target a different viewer with each game that they play. I want you to think about it. Let's say you upload a Warzone video this week, a Minecraft video next week, and a GTA video after that. Each one will attract a completely different type of viewer. And that's what I did with my first gaming channel. I started off playing an MMO, then played Call of Duty, then another RPG game, and the views fluctuated a lot because of this. That's when I realized every time you upload a different game, you're not just changing games, you're changing audiences. And that's the real problem, because when someone subscribes because they love your Warzone content, there's a good chance they won't care about your Minecraft video. So when that next upload goes out, your subscribers won't click on that video. And if the people who already know you aren't interested, YouTube has a much harder time figuring out who else will be interested. I do want to point out that variety gaming can work, but only if the games you play have a lot of audience crossover and you create videos around one audience within each game. For example, you might speedrun MMO games. That's an idea broad enough to where an audience that doesn't care about that game will actually watch. But personally, I think it's much simpler to just play one game. That's why if I were starting over today, I'd focus on one game, one audience, and become the channel people think of for that type of content. The second lesson I learned is that the game or genre you choose can limit how much your channel actually grows. When I first started making gaming videos, I told you guys I played an MMO game. That game was really small. I knew I'd be able to get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours playing that game, but the problem came after I became monetized and wanted to play something else. Since the view ceiling was limited, I couldn't earn as much money playing that game, but eventually I realized that every game has a different amount of demand behind it. If you make videos on one game with millions of active players, there are simply more people searching for that game, watching videos about it, and looking for creators to subscribe to. Compare that to a game with only a few thousand active players. Even if you become one of the best creators in that community, there's only so many people you can realistically reach. Now that doesn't mean you shouldn't play smaller games, but you need to understand the trade-off that you're making. If your goal is to build the biggest gaming channel possible, then the game you choose is one of the biggest decisions you'll ever make. You're not just choosing what game to play, you're choosing how big your potential audience can be. And I wish I understood that a lot sooner, because it would have saved me from expecting massive growth from games that simply didn't have the audience to support it. Lesson number 3, when I first started making gaming videos, I thought growth was a numbers game, and in some ways it is. So the more videos I uploaded, the faster I thought my channel would grow. And while consistency is important, I eventually realized that simply uploading more videos wasn't enough. When I first made the pivot from playing the small MMO game to playing Call of Duty, I couldn't understand why my channel was struggling so much to get views, although I would post almost daily. But when you try to play games in a bigger niche, that means more competition, and posting more videos will not get you seen. Some of the biggest improvements I made on my channel didn't come from uploading more. They came from slowing down, looking at what actually worked, and then making sure my next video targeted the exact same viewer that watched my last video. I learned that consistency doesn't mean frequency in upload, it means consistent in audience, style, and entertainment. But when you pair this with being able to keep a frequent upload, that's when your channel actually starts growing. Lesson 4, I thought better gameplay meant more views. Now I think every gaming creator has uploaded one of those videos, my best game ever, or I dropped 50 kills, or whatever crazy gameplay you just had. I've done it more times than I can count, and almost every time it flopped. The hard truth is that new viewers don't care that it's your best match ever. All they see is a title and a thumbnail, and if those don't give them a reason to care, they're never going to discover that you just had the best game of your life. That's when I realized people don't click because your gameplay is good, they click because they believe your gameplay is worth watching, and that's a huge difference. Your gameplay is what keeps people watching, but your packaging is what gets people through the door in the first place. So instead of titling your video "My Best Spider-Man Match Ever," you should phrase it in a way that would make a new viewer curious, like, "This is why Spider-Man is the strongest hero in Marvel Rivals." The curiosity generates the click, and then your gameplay keeps them. I even started a new gaming channel recently, and I had a video completely blow up using this exact framework, and that one video video alone gained me almost 30 subscribers. Lesson 5, your titles and ideas are everything. This is probably one of the hardest lessons for gaming creators to accept because it was for me too. I used to think that if I made really entertaining videos, people would eventually find it, but that's not how YouTube works. Before anyone watches your video, they have to click it first. And before they click it, all they see is your title and thumbnail. They have no idea how funny you are, how insane your gameplay is, or how much time you spent editing. So if your idea isn't interesting or your title doesn't make someone curious enough to click, none of the work you put into the actual video matters. I personally spent 20 hours editing a video all around a bad idea, all to get less than 50 views. And I've seen simple videos around great ideas completely outperform them. And that's when I realized I had it backwards. I was spending 90% of my time making the video and maybe 10% coming up with the idea and even less time coming up with the title and the thumbnail. I'm pretty sure we all have gotten the gameplay and then tried to fit a title and a thumbnail around that gameplay and realized it's always a lot harder than expected. Now I do the opposite, because if I can't come up with an idea that makes people want to click before I go and get the gameplay, then I know it's probably not a video worth making. Lesson 6. This is probably the biggest mistake I see small gaming creators make, and it's the one I repeatedly made when my gaming channel was small, and honestly it piggybacks off of almost every lesson I've talked about so far. But when you're a small gaming creator, nobody knows who you are, but more importantly, nobody cares who you are. Now I don't mean that in a harsh way. Every creator kind of starts there, and I started there as well, but the problem is a lot of creators package their videos like they already have an audience. They put their face in the thumbnail, they title their videos around themselves. For example, like GTA 5 made me feel like a thief. The problem is, why would a complete stranger care? They don't know you yet. Your job isn't to get people interested in you. Your job is to get people interested in the video first. And the less friction there is between a stranger seeing your title and thumbnail and understanding exactly why they should click, the better. That's why I always tell people to assume every upload is shown to someone who's never heard of you before, because it probably is. Once you've built an audience, you've earned the ability to make videos more about yourself. But when you're just starting out, people don't click because of who you are. They click because of what you're offering them. And once they watch enough of your videos, then they'll start caring about who you are. Lesson 7, good content does not mean over editing. This is another mistake I made for years. I used to think the better my editing was, the better my videos would perform. So I'd spend hours adding sound effects, transitions, zoom, subtitles, and basically trying to Mr. Beastify my gameplay. But eventually I realized, 1, that takes too much time and causes burnout, and 2, all that time I spent editing was a waste of time when no one is actually seeing the video. And I think you get it by now, but your packaging is the most important thing. Now, don't get me wrong, editing is important. It should make your videos easier to watch and easier to understand, but editing should support the idea. Some of the best performing gaming videos I've made pretty much had no editing at all other than a few jump cuts. So stop over editing and spend that extra time coming up with an idea, title, and a thumbnail that people would actually want to watch. Lesson 8, stop comparing yourself to other creators. I think every gaming creator has had this moment. You come across another channel and think, how is this video getting so many views? My videos are way better than this. I've definitely done it probably more times than I like to admit, but the truth is you don't know the full story. You don't know how many videos they've uploaded before that one. You don't know how many years they've been improving. You don't know how many failed videos came before that one you're looking at. And you definitely don't know how many hours they spent learning everything behind the scenes. It might even be their second, third, or fourth YouTube channel. And trust me, comparing yourself leads to stagnation, jealousy, and misery, because it doesn't help you to get views worrying about someone else's channel. So instead of asking, why are they getting more views than me, start asking, what are they doing that I can learn from? And that simple mindset shift changed the way I looked at other creators, because every successful channel stopped being someone I compared myself to and started being someone I could study. Lesson 9, don't try to grow multiple platforms in the beginning. One of the biggest mistakes I see new gaming creators make is trying to grow everywhere at once. So they're posting on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, and streaming on Twitch. And when I was growing, I tried putting my videos on TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitter X. And the problem isn't that those platforms are bad. The problem is that your attention gets split between all of them. And instead of making one really good YouTube video, you end up stretching yourself thin. But there is a reason why YouTube is considered the hardest platform to grow on. And it's because it's actually the one that requires the most skill, strategy, and understanding of your audience. It's a fact that subscribers you earn on YouTube are the most loyal of all the social platforms, because it's the one where the viewer actually chooses you. TikTok, Instagram, and X all show your full content in front of people no matter what. And if your content is good enough, it will get pushed push more. YouTube shows only the title and thumbnail, so your viewer must choose your video out of many other videos. And this is not to put down other platforms because each has its own purpose, but once you understand how to make YouTube videos, it's so much easier to expand to the others later. Lesson 10. Sometimes it's easier to start a new channel than to pivot an old one. Now this one might be a little controversial, but sometimes starting over is actually the better option. Now I'm not saying everyone should go out and create a brand new channel tomorrow, but if your current channel has years of uploading random games, different audiences, or content that's completely different from what you make now, it might be harder to fix that channel than it is to build a new one the right way from the beginning. And I've personally done this, and I'm currently doing this right now. I created a brand new gaming channel uploading gameplay videos, and it's growing at a very good pace. It takes me less than an hour a day to post a video, and in the last video I showed what my subscriber count was and how that video took off. Now the channel is currently sitting at 77 subscribers and will probably be more by the time this video gets uploaded. But here's the crazy part. The channel that I have over 10,000 subscribers on, I was playing the exact same game, getting a fraction of the views because that channel has a different audience. On that channel, I have over 300 videos playing a different game, although it is in the same genre. So when I tried to switch to the new game on that channel, the old audience was hindering the performance of the new videos, and all the effort I was putting in to potentially change the viewership was not worth the effort, and it was far easier to just start over. I've seen creators spend years trying to force one audience into another, and in the end, it just doesn't work out. A new channel gives you the opportunity to build the right audience from day one. Every upload attracts the same type of viewer, every subscriber knows exactly what they're subscribing for, and YouTube gets a much cleaner understanding of who your content is for. Now, before you start a new channel, ask yourself one question: is my current audience actually the audience I want to build? If the answer is yes, then keep going. But if the answer is no, starting over might save you months of trying to fix something that was never built right in the first place. And these 10 brutal truths are why I'm able to grow my new gaming channel quickly. And if you're curious about the exact method I use to understand my audience and create videos they actually want to see, then watch this video next. I'll see you there.